Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be going over the Nexus 7 full review. Now the Nexus 7 has been the tablet out on the market right now that's done very well, almost sold out everywhere. Google itself keeps constantly selling out of it. So let's see if it lives up to the hype. First and foremost, the design is really nice and feels very lightweight when holding it. Very nice texture, and you don't get tired of holding it even with one hand for a long time. So it goes around a long way. You do have a stereo speaker, but I always call it a mono speaker because if it's in the same grill, it's not really stereo sound. So mono speaker basically in the back, and on the bottom you have a micro USB, which is a standard, which I've liked because when I'm like driving and I can just charge it with my car charger for my phone. Headphone port right there. On the bottom right here you have a volume rocker and a power button, and on the top and the left you don't have anything. So at the very top right here you also have a 1.3 megapixel camera. One important thing to note, it does not have an app stock for it with it, but I did do a video called Walkthrough on Jelly Bean, which shows you how to get that stock app for it, so you can take normal photos if you want. Otherwise, it will natively work with things like from Instagram to Google Talk and Skype, things like that. It'll automatically work with it without doing anything special. Now, the unlock screen, you can unlock anywhere except for the top. That'll take you to Google Now, which I'll go over in a little bit. Alright, so this is Jelly Bean, which is Android 4.1. And what that means is it's really smooth. They did something called Project Butter that just made Android just move very, very quick. And even on the apps you can really see that it really moves quick, very seamless. So it's come a long way since, if you haven't used Android since 2.3 or even earlier, it's going to be night and day difference. Now they do of course support Google's ecosystem apps, which are right here at the bottom. And that is the Play Store, Google Music, Google Movies, magazines, books, and then of course the rest of the gang on all the other Google apps. So you have a lot to go with, and in terms of other things that Jelly Bean's done, you can actually rearrange your things very easily too by just holding down on a widget, if it would just hold down. By holding down on a widget, like this, and you can actually rearrange things very easily now. So it kind of moves everything out of the way, so everything is just redesigned the way you want it, fairly simple. And the other thing you have is Google's voice search, which if you've seen videos online, or if you haven't, check them out. It just destroyed every voice search out. I mean, Siri just didn't stand a chance. S-Voice got beat out. I mean, this is just far beyond any other kind of voice search, definitely by far. So just two quick examples. How old is Barack Obama?
Barack Obama is 51 years old.
Remind me to leave in 10 minutes.
Setting alarm.
So it just really does well. All of these new cards are just do really well off. I mean, you can ask it really for anything and it'll find it for you online. And questions it'll generally answer, or of course since it's Google, it'll have a Google search ready for you right away if it doesn't know the answer. So, but you don't have to click anything extra, like, Siri just uses an app called Wolfman Alpha, and that's how it finds out things. But if Wolfman Alpha doesn't have it, it'll go to Google. Google just kind of did basically better than Wolfman Alpha's search, and of course they are Google, so they have their stuff as a backup right away, instead of having to click something extra or do extra things. So a lot easier to use and simpler to use. Now, in terms of other features, you have a really great web browser in Chrome. And a concern for this tablet was that Adobe said that it would not support Flash for Jelly Bean. So that was a big concern when it first came out. Here's the thing. Android users don't stand for that. So there is already a way to get Flash on the Nexus 7, and I will be doing a video for it later this week, so definitely stay tuned for that. But there is already a way to get Flash. Android users don't stand for that. They were basically, Adobe said, "Oh, we're not supporting you guys," and they're like, "Okay, who do you think we are? Apple? We'll just put Flash on it." And they did, and it works great now already. So very seamless. In terms of Chrome, you can see I'm kind of swiping between tabs just by going left and right. And you can also see every other tab you have open on, like, there's my desktop. Oops, not sure what I opened up. There's my desktop, my phone, and my laptop. So I can actually see everything else that I have open right now. You also have a really nice e-reader if you want to read books built in. Now, of course, with this one, you can get, Kindle reader. That was one I did on a previous video, an alarm. You can, use the Kindle reader. You can use the Nook. You can use Kobo, whatever e-reader you want. But Google Books is, of course, on here as well, and it's one I really much like. You have Magazines app, which I haven't really used, to be honest, but it looks pretty nice from what I've seen. And it just kind of seems pretty cool. I am not the biggest fan of magazines, just don't read them really. But very nice in the way that you can do a double tap to zoom in on something. And then you can even change how it is if you just want to go straight to an article. So pretty nice in the way it is. But yeah. And of course, to close an app, you can actually just swipe away any app like this. And I have a couple open, as you can see. Now in terms of music, very loud. Really loud and very smooth. This is a cool thing too that it has. Basically, it kind of shows everything you've been looking at lately, whether it be music, videos, anything like that. It'll bring up what you were last looking at. In terms of videos, this one comes free with it. Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon. And very clear. You definitely notice the quality of the screen when you see the video. So hopefully it just won't load too long, or else I'll have to... Let's just forward a little bit. For you guys. But yeah, so you can see you can change settings on it if you wanted to, just change the font for like captions and stuff like that. But that's kind of the video playback, and it's pretty good. You can also do Netflix or anything else. I think actually even the YouTube one I did a second ago looked a little bit even better than that. Just to quickly show you how it can fill the full screen. I was playing this video on the Fire comparison. Let me turn this down a little bit. But just so you can see, it's really clear and very good in terms of video playback. Other nice features, the camera is pretty decent. Again, it does not come with the app built into it, but you can actually just download it, and I did do a video on how to with Jelly Bean walkthrough, I believe it was, that I did that one on. So yeah, you can kind of see, and you can just delete like that. And then just go right back to the camera. So really good in terms of overall, just really well off. In terms of gaming, I mean, definitely it has a Tegra 3 quad core in it, as well as I think what is it, a 12 core graphics card, so really good. In another video I also showed how you can actually connect a PS3 controller to it, so definitely check that video out. And it works natively with it, you don't need to be a techie or anything like that to be able to do it. So really good, and just going to play a little bit of the game so you can see the quality of it. And while it's doing that, battery life is excellent on this. It's I think it was rated longer than the new iPad even. It's around 10 hours, if not longer, generally, even sometimes, depending on how you use it, of course. But just really good battery life, and really good graphics all around in terms of look and feel, in terms of gaming. So it's just really a lot. The best thing out right now in terms of a 7-inch. Now, what I will say to go over kind of a couple of things is it does come for the price, 8 gig for $199 and 16 gig for $249. Now, it also includes $25 for the Play Store, so you can actually spend $25 that it gives you on apps, music, movies, whatever you like. And on the Android app, on the Android Play Store, it really goes a long way, just because most apps are free. So I mean, the only ones you would pay for are like ridiculously good. So really good overall, and even like things like the keyboard, really well off, very responsive. So really good, and you can always use voice dictation as well, of course, too. So you can always search with your voice. Swift key. And it'll always be able to find it and kind of know what you mean. So really good overall. Now, for all of you heavy users, I would recommend getting the 16 gig, because the only downside about this tablet is that it does not have expandable memory. So that's the really thing that a lot of people are kind of worried about this. And if you are worried about it, you might want to go for the Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 7-inch, which I have done a comparison on this one and that one if you want to check it out. But overall, this one is just the best thing going right now. I would recommend it to anyone that was thinking about getting a tablet or e-reader. It just will fulfill you in every way. If you're just doing e-reading, emailing, and web browsing, then by all means get the $200 8 gigabyte version. However, if you are, if you have other Android devices and you have found yourself downloading apps before, I would recommend you step up to the 16 gig for $249. And that was the 10-minute alarm. So I'm going to let you guys go now. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. I can bring up Google now and it'll tell me how long it's going to take me 8 minutes to get home. And yeah, so those are cool features of this tablet. If you have any other questions on how any of these things work, feel free to ask. And once again, I am going to do a voice search where you guys make up the questions. So if you haven't asked, just do voice search and what you want me to ask, and I will do a video on that later this week. Alright guys, this has been RICKY, the Android Guy.